You're not sure whether you're lazy or unmotivated, but you're here because you feel lost. You're stuck in this continual soul-crushing loop that doesn't seem like it's going to end. And even if you do escape it, it's like this gravitational pull, bringing you down back to the familiar realization again that you're utterly lost in life. You have no direction. If things stay the same, you'll lose out on years of your life, working on things that are not true for you, that aren't the life that you want to live, and basically watching everyone else build their dreams while you're standing or sitting on your ass on the sidelines. Sometimes you try and keep yourself busy by watching videos on Netflix, on YouTube. Sometimes you even write down some goals, you get really motivated. You do some kind of self-improvement, but let's be honest here. The truth is clear. You are distracting yourself from yourself because you're stuck. And after a while, you end up kind of losing confidence and hope in yourself. And slowly, barely notable, but slowly, your dreams start to fade away, bit by bit, until you reach a point where you don't recognize who you are anymore, who the face in the mirror is, and why you're doing any of these things. This job, this work, this to-do list, this life. And you ask yourself, what is the point? And is this why I am truly here? What the hell am I waiting for? What am I doing with my life? I'm just floating along, surviving, but not living. I want you to treat this not just as a video, but as a transformation, an invitation to a higher understanding of where you are and where you would like to be. By the end of this video, I'm not just going to give you the standard self-help speak, but a powerful and life-changing philosophy that I really love, and one that guides me every single waking hour of my life. Once we've covered this powerful idea for dealing with this problem, I'm also going to offer you some practical tools and techniques that you can use immediately right now. You don't need to pay for them to put these ideas to work, because who wants to wait around? As always, there's also timestamps down below and chapters in the play bit of the YouTube video, so you can skip to the bits that you want. Now, I'm not the guru here, you are. And I'm not offering you a quick fix, far from it. Just some food for thought based on my best insights. So take what works here and leave the rest. Ultimately, self-improvement needs action, not admiration, to work. And in this community of ours, I want us to always be action addicts, not these theory junkies consuming all the information out there. I'd rather that you actually watch less and apply more. And I'm not just talking about this video, I'm talking about all of the videos that are out there. Like, there are so many. So instead of watching passively like you normally might do with other videos, here's one very simple suggestion of how you can get the most value if you're going to invest in watching this video. Watch it till the end, but also write comments down below as you do. Mental notes that you can come back to later, but you can also share your insights with other people, because that's where the value is going to be, in this video and in the comment section. Because I'm not just the guru here. All of you are too. If you want to have a great and meaningful life, whatever that looks like for you, whatever that means to you, it's really important that you have your mind and your thinking in check, that you have a really clear set of values and ideas that help you to navigate the world. After all, it's not the world that is often the problem, but it's our thinking that gets in the way. So let's start by thinking about this problem in a different way completely. And I want to introduce you to my favorite mental model, my favorite way of thinking about life that I am really passionate about. It's not something I came up with, but this is a set of ideas that form the main basis of this video, but are also the main basis of my life now for the last 3 years. This is something that I can honestly say I've been focusing on, thinking about, trying to live by every single day. And it's helped me to avoid mistakes that I was making before, waste way less time worrying about feeling lost and where I am and feeling stuck in life, because now I've got this ability to master my emotions and quickly recalibrate if something happens, because it will. I'm no longer getting lost trying to keep up with the 101 fads out there and gurus that are out there, because I've boiled things down to one really simple concept that is really easy to follow. And it's just this: follow your inner compass. Like the best things in life, it's nothing fancy, complicated, or hard to grasp. It's nothing that you need to pay thousands of pounds for, that only a few people know. It's just a simple idea that can last an entire lifetime and anyone can use. And here's how it goes. In life, I want you to imagine that you're navigating a ship. Everyone has their own ship, and we're all in the same ocean. At first, when you set off, you knew where you're going. But some people have a better crew, they have a better ship, they have a better navigation system. And those things give them an advantage that help them stay on course. Some people are better crew members than others. Some people start as sailors and then become captains of their ship. And outside of life on your ship, on this ship, there's loads of currents out there, there's pirates, there's weather changes that happen randomly. Now let's consider your situation in light of this mental model right now. If you are on your ship and you're the captain, would it be fair of you to blame yourself every single time that you got lost? What if you were lost simply because the outside weather conditions were bad? What if you got lost because there was a missing piece to your ship and there was a hole that you needed to fix? I bring this up because so often we make external things about us. We can improve our abilities, yes, and we should. But we need to respect the force of nature and the things going on around us and how they affect us. If you talk to any pro surfer, for example, someone who spends a lot of time in the ocean, they will tell you that we have to respect the waves. We can increase our abilities in navigating the seas, yes, we can become better surfers. But sometimes things outside of our control happen. So try to see the bad weather, the environments, even the emotions and thoughts that we experience on our journey as simply that. Passing waves that we are learning to ride through the best that we can. And what we can do is improve the way that we navigate those things. We can improve the way we look at those things. But each time you do your best to navigate it better and better. The more storms I experience, the better I get. The more lost you get, the more you find. And as long as you keep your eyes and your mind open to it, you will improve. And secondly, in this analogy, what can help? Well, other captains on other ships, mentors, coaches, masterminds, courses, videos and communities like this, they work in a similar way. And sometimes you need a Navy base, someone who is monitoring your course for you, checking on what the weather patterns are and keeping you up to date. When I work with people, for example, as a life coach, this is the first thing that I tell them. You are in charge of your life. You're the captain of your ship. But I am like mission control. I'm the Navy base. You've told me where you would like to go, or you've told me that you're lost and you don't know where you want to go. And I'm here to share real-time information in a dialogue with you where I'm getting to know what you want and what you don't want, and helping you to learn how best to navigate these seas. Now, I could go on and on about this idea, but I just wanted to present a really simple philosophy, a really simple way of looking at things that has a profound effect on your life if realized. And I really stress this because the truth, this idea, it can't just be told, it has to be realized. So if you're feeling lost, I want you to try and adopt this belief, this idea that you're floating along like a boat in the ocean, and there are all these forces outside influencing you that you don't always control. And equally, there are forces inside you and on your ship where you are the driving force, you are the deciding, dominant, determining factor, and you can control what form and shape that takes. So it's not that what happens that matters outside, it's not all these things that are going on around us, but how we choose to respond to those things. And sometimes it's fun, even interesting, not to worry too much about where we're going, but just to float along with no purpose. Which brings me to the next idea that I want to share, because a lot of people who are sharing information on this topic, I did a Google search when I was preparing for this video on feeling lost in life, feeling like you're stuck. There's so much information out there, and it's not all created equally. Not everyone who speaks on an issue has a valid opinion on it, because they may be misinformed, they may be uninformed, they may have an agenda for you. So you have to decide which pieces of information are valid and which aren't. And when you're dealing with these big existential questions, I don't think you should just allow anyone's ideas or opinions to guide you. I think we have to make sure that the information and the advice we're getting is valid and professional. So when we talk about feeling lost, is it a momentary, fleeting thing? Or is it the sign of a deeper, chronic issue? There might be so many reasons you feel lost in life. And one of those, it could be related to your mental health. Studies show that 1 in 4 of us are going to experience a mental health issue at some point in life. And 56% of those people, most people, won't get the support that they need. And I'm not just talking about family, friends, a book, a YouTube video. I'm talking about professional, guided, expert opinion and support. As someone who's been through my own mental health challenges in my life at various points, one thing that I've learned from a therapist that I've worked with is you can't heal what you deny. If you're going through a mental health issue that maybe you're not even aware of, the truth of the matter is that you can get help from your friends and family. You can kind of do things on your own, and that works to an extent. But the biggest benefit comes from professional support, because these people are trained, experienced, and above all else, they're objective. In which case, this inner compass idea, it can help, but what else can you do? What other things can you add to this formula for finding purpose? For those of you who are looking for more support or interested in this, I'd highly recommend you check out BetterHelp, today's sponsor of the video. I am who I am today because of the help of countless coaches, mentors, therapists, and counselors. But most people aren't that lucky. There is a staggering struggle of accessing good quality therapists and counselors, and it can get really expensive, not to mention hard to find the right one. BetterHelp are on a mission to make professional counseling accessible, affordable, and convenient. So anyone who's struggling with life's challenges, they can get help anytime and anywhere. They are the leading provider of online counseling with over 4,000 licensed counselors on the platform and over 500,000 individuals who have gotten counseling to date, including me. One of the most common questions that people ask me when I recommend that they speak to a counselor or therapist is, how do I even find the right one and one that I can afford? And this is what I love about BetterHelp. They have a matching algorithm that you put your details in, you put your background in, what you're struggling with, and that algorithm helps to match you to a therapist that is uniquely qualified to serve your exact needs. I tried them out recently because I'm going to do a video about this, and I got matched with a wonderful lady called Angela who I can talk to anytime. I really like that it's on demand anytime I want. Video call, phone call, real-time chat, or direct messaging. So click on the link down below in the description and over here in one of the info cards to check it out. If you are feeling lost, it might be a chronic issue, it might be something deeper. So you could be 30 minutes away from more clarity as a result of some personalized support from an expert, rather than, a video like this, which is talking to thousands of people. Often I find when I feel the most lost, it's because I'm feeling the least productive, and at the same time I'm comparing myself to how much I think other people are doing. Now we all know those things are going through filters, but we all do it because it's a human thing to fall victim to, staring at the people in our world, both online and offline, and comparing and contrasting. Jay Shetty, Matt Diavella, Thomas Frank, those are all channels that have way more views than I do. Why am I not further ahead? But really, we need to stop measuring ourselves like objects in the realms of productivities and outputs, and instead start seeing ourselves as beings that are vibrating at different levels at different times. Everyone's situation is unique, and we're balancing different things to produce whatever we are, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is what I'm doing on my little corner of the internet, what I'm doing as the captain on my ship, expressing myself to the highest level of authenticity and being a beacon of value along my ride in this shared ocean of ours. Am I doing that to my maximum capability? That's what I want to focus on, and that's what gives me clarity. Speaking on this idea of comparing and contrasting, contrast also helps us to learn more. If we can feel being lost deeply, then we can also feel being purposeful and passionate deeply. These lost moments, they're just as beautiful and useful as the passionate and purposeful ones. We don't want to avoid and numb ourselves to them. Not every day has to be a homogeneous, productive, focused day. Because a skillful sailor, in my analogy, isn't just made in sunny weather, but also in hard, choppy winds and murky waters where you have malfunctioning equipment. I like those challenges because they're the ones that teach me the most. The next thing to bear in mind is making sure that our baseline is steady, not getting too lost in the lows and too swept up with the highs, being stoic, because there we can find a sense of balance. I'm finding, for example, capturing my thoughts down on paper allows me to see them for what they really are, whereas when I'm ruminating them in my head, I give them more power. When they're on paper, I can see what they are, passing waves in the ocean that, just like water, they can wash through me without any resistance, or I can get caught up and swept up in the wave of thought that is coming. Today's wave is not the entire ocean. Similarly, today's thought is not your mind. It's just a passing thought. Try to look at it like you're sat on a platform at a train station and a train is going by. Every single day there are so many trains that pass, so many trains of thought, but you have the power to decide, is this a train that I want to get on? Is it a train I want to give focus and energy to? Because what we focus on grows. And if it's not a train of thought that you want to empower, ignore it. Let it go and watch it go by. And then the last thing is, the most important thing in life is not a goal that we learned in a Mind Valley webinar, a goal that we've stuck in the sand and we need to reach it to feel fulfilled. These milestones and aims, they're great, but what I love more about this concept of following your inner compass in life is that it's like a North Star high in the sky. Unlike a goal, which is immediately outdated in a way the moment you write it down because things are always changing. This idea of your inner compass, it is like a magnetic compass. It's always pointing you towards your North Star. And no matter what comes, because things will, there's always this magnetic pull that is nudging us in the right direction if we have the courage and the focus to pay attention to it. There's a great quote in the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which I'd definitely recommend if you do feel lost, where he says, "We are travelers on a cosmic journey, stardust swirling and dancing in the eddies and whirlpools of infinity. Life is eternal. We have stopped for a moment to encounter each other, to meet, to love, to share. This is a precious moment. It's a little parenthesis in eternity. Remember that wherever your heart is, there you will find treasure." The last and final thing I want to leave you with is some really practical steps, because I know I've talked about some really abstract ideas today. And it's two things. Get specific. Get really specific by asking yourself some specific questions to demystify that brain fog that you're experiencing. It's something that I learned from things like therapy and coaching. What is it that I'm feeling lost about? Why? How am I reacting to that? When do I notice that come up? Do I feel lost in my relationship? Do I feel lost in my career? Do I feel lost with grief, heartbreak? Where is it in your life that you're feeling lost? And where in your life do you feel clear? Because the chances are you're generalizing. You don't feel lost in your entire life overall, in every moment of the waking day, but just lost in one area. And that one area is having a major impact on everything else. If you find yourself in this position, just spend time on it and just focus on that first step. Don't worry about the big, massive goals or these other ideas. Just focus on one step. If you're stuck feeling lost in your career, spend 3 hours researching what your next job might look like. If you feel lost in your relationship, spend 3 hours having a really honest conversation about it and reading a book about that problem that might help. As I said, get specific. And I want you to share it down below for accountability in the comments, because I said it earlier and I want to repeat it again to remind you. Vague thoughts and feelings, they persist, but it's under the light of a sharp and introspective mind that they dissipate and lose power. Most of the time I find when I'm feeling lost in life, it's not really about where I am. It's about how I'm feeling. It's about how I'm dealing with that feeling that is the real issue. Because we're really good, we've been taught to numb and avoid ourselves to so many things. There's so many ways you can distract yourself at any given moment. So many devices, so many apps, so many websites, so many pieces of information, so many gurus out there. Who do you focus on? Well, the answer is not me. You focus on you. You focus on getting specific. You focus on how can what Keshav has said in this video apply to my life here and now. Because as you know, it's action, taking action, that's going to bring clarity. Sometimes the problem is that we know what our ultimate goal and North Star is, but our notions of success are vague and they're built on things that we see outside rather than what we feel inside, what we know inside. We copy what we see successful people around us doing instead of just digging into our actual truth. What is my inner compass telling me today? Where do I want to go next? Where have I been? Now, I'll be honest, I have way more to say on this concept of following your inner compass. It's not going to fit in a single video. I could probably write a whole book about it. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in that book. But anyway, I realize this video is getting long enough and I've shared a lot of ideas here, but if you want some help with applying it in a more practical way and you want specific techniques, I've created a separate, dedicated, just for this video and this whole topic, a free 45-minute masterclass. And in the first 15 minutes, I take you through the Passion Finder test to help you find more clarity in your life today using my coaching techniques that I've learned in my career and journaling prompts that I think will help you to really dig deeper into the concepts I've talked about today. And in the second half of this masterclass, I talk about the 6 main reasons based on science and studies that have been done that people feel unhappy and unfulfilled in their lives. So if you're interested, the link is going to be down in the description and over here in the end screens. But other than that, thank you for your time. Thank you for choosing to watch this far. And I'll see you out there on your ship in the ocean. Of course, I'll be on mine. And yeah, give me a little wave if you see me. Peace.